What about you? And in the garage today we have a 2017 Volvo cross country V60 D4 all-wheel drive, and it's a shooting brake. And this one has 15,519 miles on it. So that top one's the trip. So there's only 15,500 miles on it. Very low mileage. And this one has an automatic gearbox. So it's in for service just. And I just thought I would talk a wee bit about this thing. So even though it says D4 on the back of it, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cylinders. So it's the Volvo typical sort of D5 engine, but it's badged D4 this because I think it's maybe detuned a bit. It's Euro 6, and this one with the all-wheel drive with the Haldex coupler on it. So we're just doing a service. There's the oil filter just goes in there. We'll do an air filter, and how do we look at the service history there? It has been serviced before, but it's only had an engine oil change. So we'll do the heap here. We'll do all the filters. But one thing I did notice, was, so obviously we've got the engine cover off, and you see these injector wires here? You think somebody had been clamping these, wouldn't you? So that one there isn't disturbed looking, but yeah. So these are piezo injectors in this vehicle, and yeah, they've went away from solenoid and decided to put these piezos in. And the other thing about it is, you see that wee by air, that's a wee small turbo in there. So there's a small turbo here, and then below it there's a huge turbo, so twin turbo. So as the title suggests, this is a diesel fuel filter change. So this thing in here at the back is your Haldex coupler for the all-wheel drive. That bio there is the pump motor for it, and behind the rear beam, that's the empty roll bar. We'll have a big diff and a couple of drive shafts, and up in there is a diesel filter. So it sits just at the top of this rear subframe, and this is a wee drain here, and there's things on here probably for some sort of special tool, but we can get at it with this axle, get it off. So this here's a wee drain, and I think just to save all the diesel oil spilling all over the shop, we'll do a wee drain. This is a wee 6mm bit of pipe here. I'll get that onto there, and we'll crack that, and see if I can get the most of the diesel out of her first. Alright, so let's see, we'll put a socket in this and see what the crack is. So what's that there? 17mm. Looks like a 17mm. It's just a wee bit too tight for 17 there. There's an 18. Alright, we'll give that a go. And this is going to fail us. It's going on a bit cattywampus, but we'll use our wobble extension here. Let's see what happens. Right, wasn't that tight? Right, well at least we'll get our drain pipe on, back on again, and get a basin in below, and we'll just offer an open ender up and loosen her off. There's not very much coming out the drain pipe. At all. Is that coming out? Anything coming out that drain pipe? There she goes now. Right, okay, put that back on again. Right, let that drain. I think that's all it's going to come out, so we'll just pull her out the rest of the way then. We'll leave our wee bung here to just do this over to the side for the moment, and we'll get this housing off. So this hex here is a 32mm, and if I put her on here, we can see our extension isn't going to line up the best with this anti-roll bar at the bottom of the picture. So with our wobble extension, there is a wee bit of flex in the housing there, so we'll see if we can we'll see if this is going to get it for us. No bar. It's come off by hand now. I think. Right, is this housing going to clear this axle at the bottom of the subframe and what have you? Not really. Let's see. That's some job in it. So we're going to get this out, or what? Doesn't look like it. Just leave that in there. Hold on. Get her out in front, maybe. Oh, knocks the camera. Yeah, there she is out the front. Right. There's our wee seal in there. And you see, this is just pull out now. So there we go. Volvo. There's a part number if you need it. So while we're here, we'll just put the new one in. So this is an aftermarket one I'm putting in, but a wee bit of oil or diesel around that top ring there, top seal, and this is just push in. Yeah. Yeah, that'll sit there first. It's just a wee push, that's it. So we'll get a wee look at our housing. As you can see, I'm wearing gloves, and that's because I don't want you know, the new filter getting dirty with my grubby hands. So if you look at the seal there, there's a wee tab on it. So you see that wee tab there? So that allows you to pull the seal out. So wee tab out to you, and we'll pull that out because we get a new one with a new filter. If I spin around the body, let's see if I can get you into focus. There we go. So on the bottom of it there, 25 plus 5 Newton meters cover. So 25 Newton meters for the cover, and here we'll have 2 plus 0.5 Newton meters for a wee drain screw. So what we'll do is we'll get the wee drain screw onto there while she's off. Right, so we'll just make sure she's threading in nicely, just by hand, for the wee drain screw. And just the slightest wee nip. This is just plastic, of course. That's grand. So we have a new main seal. Comes with a filter, and there's a few pictorials there, but it basically is just telling you about that wee tab that I showed you. So we'll open the bag here. It's a different colour as well, it's black. So there's our wee tab. So clearly, you know, there is an orientation here, and the wee tab tells you. So we'll get her in. We'll get her in here, just knead her in with your fingers. Jobs a good. So you can just see that wee tab sticking up. Nicely down in. That's great. Now, what I like to do, some people would put a wee taste of diesel around this, but I like to, not very much, of course, a wee tiny taste of engine oil around all this, especially on the threads, but not much at all, not enough to, you know, run into the housing. A couple of wee squirts, very little, just a film of engine oil out of my wee oiler there, you know. So any excess will just let her drip off. So as we found out whenever we're taking this housing out or off, we need to put her back up in between the Haldex coupler and the fuel tank, and we'll just have to guide her up in with our hands. Is she going to come? Yeah, that's her. Right. So it just about fits past there, so you can just manipulate it past, and we'll lift her up in, and start threading it with your hands. So that wee taste of oil on the threads, that'll go up nicely. We'll give her a wee nip up with a socket. Right, let's see. So there's our socket in position. I'll just hold that with my other hand there. I'll get our wobble joint on it. Just past the anti-roll bar. And give her a wee bit of a tighten. So what did I say? 25 Newton meters, 25 plus 5, wasn't it? So click, 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 click. Happy with it. So turn the ignition on there, and we're going to need to bleed this, obviously, because that canister is completely empty of diesel. So turn the ignition on, you know, held the start button in, and didn't hear any gurgling or any fuel pump activation. So I'm going to have a wee look in the MaxiSys, see if we can get a fuel pump here going. And nothing here. Fuel pressure control valve, fuel volume control valve. So that'll be the two valves on the rail and the yeah. So just heard a wee click there. So nothing happening. So it looks like we're going to have to pull this through manually. So if I had a wee look here, that one there is clearly the return. It's coming off the injectors, and so that one there is the return, that one there is the feed and the injector pump, and So it looks like somebody's been here before. There's like Tipex on it. But we're going to try a different scan tool here, because there's definitely a fuel pump in this thing. I've tried it on the snap-on. It's much the same crack as the Autel. So pulled out the wee launch, and we have something here. Diesel engine fuel system combined. So I get a good view of my lights there in the glare. Special function. Activating fuel pump and tank. Activation of fuel pump can be used to test the fuel pump action, drain the tank of fuel, blah blah blah. Ignition on, press start button. If your fuel pump and not one run dry, this will damage the pump. So there's plenty of fuel in her. Do not run pump dry. And we'll see what we get here. Looking promising. Not a few times then. Still a bit hesitant, but wish you went. Jobs are good. So there you go. That's the answer to the age-old question. Which one is the best scan tool? Answer, none of them. Or the other popular answer is whatever one does a job, you know. So out of the three here, that's the cheapest. That one didn't do it. That one didn't do it. That one did do it. In this case, I put that on a fairly fresh Jag the other day. I think it was a 2018 model year, XF or something, I think it was. And I didn't even recognize it. Didn't even know what it was. So didn't even look at it. That and that. I think I just put the snap-on on it, and we did a scan for it. The car had a management light on, so that didn't look at the Jag. In this case, I noticed that had PIDs for low side fuel pressure, and these two did not. So those two offered much the same thing, and the fuel pump activation wasn't there, but it was in the launch, and it worked because we heard it working. Whenever you turn the ignition on, you don't hear anything, so we take it it's not running. So there we go. That saved me disconnecting a lot of fuel pipes. As we saw, we could have disconnected the fuel pipe at the injector pump and pulled it through a vacuum pump if I had really wanted to, but out of curiosity, I put the snap-on it, didn't work. Launch, dead on. Ran it a few times, and we heard her gurgling there, so that was pushing the air out. Still a wee hesitation in startup, but that's because there's still a bit of air in it, But it'll be grand. So there we go. Maybe you get something out of it. And when I was doing that, I had it on battery support. So these Volvos, whenever you turn the ignition on, all the lights light up and all and stuff. So you put it down to just the side lights, but still pulling a massive current. So this thing was pumping in about 30 amps when I was running that fuel pump. But anyway, so if you're going to do that, you'll run that battery down pretty easily. So that's the reason for that. Anywho, waffle on for long enough. Maybe you get something out of it. Thanks very much for watching, as ever, and all the best. And hello a minute. Just hold up us, right? I think I've maybe been misleading there. Had an RV look in the Autel there. Engine control module. I was looking under active test, special functions, activating fuel pump and tank. It is there. And continue. Start. Yeah, I can hear it in the background. Stop. Right, I'm going to give the snap-on an hour run just to see. in case I've slagged that off improperly. Right, back on the snap-on now. I know you can't see us very well. There's a lot of glare and the lights there. So there's nothing else there in the engine. Continue. Functional test. Special functions. Not there. No fuel pump activation there. Actuator test. Yeah, and that's the same as what I was getting in the Autel. So under special functions in the snap-on, fuel pump activation isn't there for this Volvo in a Verus Edge. So there we go. That's it now. Cheers.